Tuckahoe, and welcome to the April 25th Board of Trustees Budget Adoption Meeting. Can we please all stand for the pledge? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Camille, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Andino.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Howell.
Present.
Trustee Taylor.
Present.
Trustee Cronin.
Present.
Trustee Engelmann.
Present.
You threw me off. I'm used to being last. I'm like, oh, first this time. If there's anyone on Zoom, we have no one here present. If there's anyone on Zoom that would like to address the board on any agenda items, you're welcome to do so now. Anyone, David? No? Okay. So we will move on to what we are actually here for, which is authorizing the adoption of our village budget. But before we do, David, if you could talk a little bit about some of the changes that we've made and the budget in its entirety.
Sure. So as you know, the budget was filed in March of the tentative budget with a 1.79% tax levy increase that was over the village's tax cap, state mandated tax cap. So what happened is the village tentative budget was filed. We had 2 different work sessions, met with department heads, had some really good conversations in regards to a lot of different facets of the budget, and kind of came up with a few different ways to be able to get us to the tax cap. One way was to increase revenues, pardon me, the increase potential revenues in 3 different categories. One was sales tax, another was hotel occupancy tax, and the third was mortgage tax. We kind of looked at each of these and kind of analyzed them a little bit further and figured that we could kind of up those a little bit, and I think we will still be very safe on regards to that. We've always been a conservative budgeter here, last number of years, so I think we'll be able to reach those targets. And another one was reduce our expenditures to the capital fund. So if you recall, we took our ARP funding, instead of kind of plugging that into the budget, we took that and put it towards 2 different projects that we have to match for the CDBG. What we'll do is we'll match the first project that'll happen this year, and the second project will happen in 1 year from now. So we reduce the expenditures in that to a 60%. So reduce it around $66,000. In a year from now, we'll have to figure out how to make that difference. But that's fine. We never even had that money anyways, so that's next year's problem, and I think we'll be able to figure out how to do that next year. So with those modifications, we actually reduced the tentative levy to the current amount of $8.6 million, which brings us to the tax cap amount of 0.34% increase year over year. So what does that mean to a home assessed at $6,100? About a $70 increase year over year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where we are right now.
Okay. Does anyone on the board have any questions or comments? No one?
No.
Okay. And David, just to remind the residents, what do we have in our fund balance now? Do you have an idea?
It's around $2.3 million.
Yeah.
I don't have it in
So I
front
thought
of me.
it was
but
about
it's-
2 million, right, a little more. Okay, so I will ask for a motion authorizing the adoption of the fiscal year budget from June 1st, 2022 through May 31st, 2023. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Will you call the roll, Camille? Yeah, you can go, you do it your way. In favor?
Deputy Mayor Howell.
In favor.
Trustee Taylor.
In favor.
Trustee Cronin.
In favor.
Trustee Engelmann.
In favor.
And I just want to take a moment to thank David. Thank you for your work, and the department heads and also the employees in the village who work very lean and do their best to try not to overspend in areas that are not needed, and to continue to provide the excellent services that we get here in Tuckahoe. So thank you all for your hard work. Okay, so we're going to move on. We do have another resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with the Westchester County to provide services at the Tuckahoe the Tuckahoe Public Library in the amount of $10,805. At the last meeting, I did thank our county legislator, Damon Marr, who helped secure this grant money for the library, and it will provide, help us to provide Zumba classes, financial literacy, and some other programs. So may I have a motion to authorize me to execute this agreement?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Miscellaneous business, which is not so miscellaneous, is the next budget meeting. The next village board meeting will be on May 9th at 7 p.m. And unless there is anyone who has anything to address the board, this is a second opportunity on any items on the agenda or not. Do we have anyone on Zoom? No. Okay, so then this meeting is adjourned. Have a good night, Tuckahoe. We will see you on May 9th at our regularly scheduled village board meeting.